My name is Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
Jimmy Carter was a one-term president and arguably more successful after he left office. But his 4 years in office were memorable, both tumultuous and momentous, at home and abroad. He will be remembered as the president who formalized U.S. diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, recognizing the PRC as the sole legitimate government of China. Later that same year, Carter hosted Deng Xiaoping, the first Chinese Communist Party leader to visit the U.S.
Our country and the People's Republic of China reached this final historic agreement on January the 1st, 1979, a little more than 2 weeks from now. Our two governments will implement full normalization of diplomatic relations.
Another foreign policy triumph, the Camp David Accords, bringing peace between Egypt and Israel. He also continued the policy of détente with the Soviet Union, cementing the second round of the strategic arms limitation talks, known as SALT II. But the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, the taking of U.S. hostages at the American embassy in Tehran, the oil shock and the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan overshadowed his successes and helped doom his bid for re-election. At home, while he helped heal the wounds of the Nixon era and the Vietnam War, he dealt with an economy in crisis due to the oil price shock, soaring inflation, stagnating economic growth, and a surge of unemployment.
It is a crisis of confidence. It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national will. We can see this crisis in the growing doubt about the meaning of our own lives and in the loss of a unity of purpose for our nation.
Carter was elected in part because he was not part of the Washington establishment. A peanut farmer from the state of Georgia, he had served successfully as the state's governor and had a naval career as a submarine officer. He was seen as honest and a populist, deeply religious. He was seen as a deeply moral man, too, who cared for ordinary people. But after losing to Ronald Reagan in a landslide, he left office. It was not the end, but the beginning of perhaps the most productive period of his life. He became a roving diplomat, first in the Middle East, then Africa, Latin America. He became President Bill Clinton's special envoy to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to try and work out an understanding with Pyongyang. He joined former leaders like Nelson Mandela in the independent diplomatic group known as the Elders. He established the Carter Center, a charity that helps monitor elections across the globe and advocates for human rights and health. Carter did all this while his own health suffered. He had bouts of cancer and complications from falls, but he battled on in public and in private, becoming the longest-lived U.S. president in March 2019. He said the secret of a long life was a good marriage. Nathan King, CGTN, Washington.